This week on The Splash. Tornadoes appearing across the U.S. reminds West Bloomfield residents of one that occurred here 40 years ago. Then we talk with organizers of the West Bloomfield Blood Drive, which was started in honor of a fallen police officer. And later, dogs across the township got treated to a day of fun in the sun at the Family Aquatic Center. The Splash is a production of Civic Center TV. We're a news magazine that covers everything, from local news to feature stories, all so that we can bring you the latest from the greater West Bloomfield area. And now, let's dive into The Splash. Hello and welcome to another episode of The Splash. I'm your host, Jonathan Jackson, and as always, it's good to have you with us. From Indiana all the way to Windsor, the number of tornadoes happening across North America has risen in the past week, yet supposedly tornado season should be nearing its end. Meanwhile, West Bloomfield's residents are looking back on when the township encountered its own devastating tornado 40 years ago. The Splash's Katie Wozniak has a story.
In Oakland County, tornadoes aren't exactly a natural occurrence, with only a few showing up here and there. But arguably, the most notable one occurred right here in West Bloomfield 40 years ago. And for longtime residents, it is still as fresh in their minds as yesterday.
What I remember is I was sitting in the family room of our house with my kids, looked out the back patio window and saw this huge funnel cloud coming towards us. And I said to my kids, get down, go down in the basement. And they started to go down in the basement. And the thing went roaring past like a freight train that everybody says. Before I could even get up and get down to the door, it went past us.
And for those who grew up in West Bloomfield, such as Larry Wiseman, the experience of not knowing whether his family was all right was just as horrifying.
And I turned on the 11 o'clock news, which would have been, 3 o'clock here. And the first thing I see is they said, tornado obliviates West Bloomfield Township, Michigan. Couldn't believe it. Grabbed the phone, called my parents' house first, and got a busy signal. Then I tried to call Judy and got a busy signal because all the telephone lines were just all jammed up with people trying to find out what had happened.
When it was over, the tornado resulted in the death of one and the injury of 55 others. It demolished homes, businesses, and automobiles, with a total cost estimated around $5 million, or roughly $22 million today, making this the costliest natural disaster to ever hit the township, but also initiating an immediate action program afterwards.
So there are forms for each of these catastrophic events, and these forms need to be completed by the building department within 72 hours for the township to be reimbursed for any damages throughout the township to be able to rebuild. So it's very, very critical that all of our forms are updated, who's responsible, that the county is aware. It's been a long time, it's been 40 years, and we know that we are due.
As for residents themselves, the National Weather Service has released safety tips on how to protect you and your loved ones during such an occurrence.
If you don't have a basement available, you want to get to the lowest floor of your home or business and get to the center part of the house. The rule we have is to put as many walls between you and the tornado as possible. So a closet, a small hallway where you can put 2 or 3 walls between you and the outside is going to be the safest place.
Although West Bloomfield has yet to experience anything of this nature again, the feeling among residents and the township is clear, that one can never be too careful. For The Splash, I'm Katie Wozniak.
Thank you, Katie. And if you'd like to know more about the West Bloomfield tornado that happened here 40 years ago, then visit civiccentertv.com/tornado40 and look up more. For 3 years now, the West Bloomfield Blood Drive has been going on within the township. And although it's been growing in attendance each year, the reasoning behind it has remained the same. Here's The Splash's Adrian Aschenbrenner with more.
Most people who donate blood do it to help save a life. But for those in West Bloomfield, they do it in honor of one.
This blood drive actually started at the behest of Chief Mike Patton. And the chief asked me if he thought a blood drive was a good idea and asked my opinion. I said, you know what, I think it would be a great idea. It's a great way to honor the memory of Sergeant Patrick O'Rourke, who gave of himself, not just because he lost his life in the line of duty, but because he was a giving and compassionate individual, so the two went hand in hand, and so that's why we decided to do it.
And for the past 3 years now, the West Bloomfield Police Department has been working hand in hand with the Red Cross to make this cause an even greater one.
What I do during the blood drive is I work with the community and I look for different organizations who are willing to help the Red Cross, because our mission is a volunteer organization. So without the community and the organizations and help from them, we would not have locations to host blood drives.
Almost anyone can donate blood. All it takes is a little preparation, such as being hydrated, eating well, and getting a good night's sleep the night before. And for first-time donors, it's not as intimidating as you might think.
For a first-time blood donor, I work with a lot of high schools, and 16-year-olds can donate with consent. So, it's just basically talking with them, being there with them, having people who have donated before, just encourage them that what they're doing is an amazing thing to save somebody else's life, what they're going through, what they need for a blood product. Because when you donate blood, you are actually donating blood to save 3 lives. Your pint can save up to 3 lives.
And this year's blood drive will be in the same location as last year, at the Parks and Rec building on Walnut Lake Road.
Well, it's going to be September 8th, 11 a.m. till 5 p.m. at the Parks and Recs building here in beautiful West Bloomfield. And I believe that address is 4640 Walnut Lake Road for those who may not know where it's at. And that is in room 102, I believe. So have them come on out, but we would prefer that they make an appointment just because it's a lot easier logistically, and Red Cross can plan for how many people will be there.
For more information on how to participate in this year's blood drive, visit www.redcrossblood.org and enter the sponsor code WBPR. Or you can call 1-800-733-2767 to schedule an appointment. For The Splash, I'm Adrian Aschenbrenner.
Thank you, Adrian. And for those looking for more information on the event, you can visit civiccentertv.com/blood drive. Remember, that's on September 8th, everyone, at the Parks and Rec building right here in West Bloomfield. Still more to come, though, on this week's episode, including some pooches enjoying the dog days of summer. And later, George Moore will be out on the streets asking our community some new questions on Sidewalk Talk. Stay tuned.
Don't go away. You're watching The Splash on Civic Center TV.
Civic Center TV celebrates our region's natural beauty, proud history, tremendous accomplishments, and more with Another Angle, a series featuring a unique bird's-eye view of our area's landscape. Watch Another Angle on Civic Center TV, television that's close to home.
Civic Center TV has gone social. Now it's easier than ever to watch, save, like, and share our videos online. See what's happening in your neighborhood, on the streets, and on the web at civiccentertv.com. Be a part of the conversation and get involved. We would love to hear from you. For links to our social media pages, visit us at our website or find us on Facebook, Twitter, and YouTube. Civic Center TV, television that's close to home.
The best way to know when shows debut on Civic Center TV is to become a member. It's absolutely free. We'll send you a regular newsletter with all the latest updates. Just go to civiccentertv.com and click the Members tab. Civic Center TV, television that's close to home.
And now, back to The Splash on Civic Center TV.
Welcome back to The Splash, everyone. I'm your host, Jonathan Jackson. The Family Aquatic Center in West Bloomfield is preparing to close down the outdoor pool for the fall, but not before letting our pets in for a little swim. The Splash's Ben Goldman has the details.
The Pooch Plunge here in West Bloomfield has become a staple of the community, allowing dogs and their owners to enjoy a fun day playing and relaxing at the pool.
We have over 100 dogs who are here today, and with those 100 dogs brings all of their families, their grandparents, kids to see the dogs swimming for a day. It's a really special day, and it's really unique for the whole community to come out. Everyone can relate to it. Even if you're not a dog owner, you can still come out and watch.
This was our first year coming to this event. It was awesome. Our dog totally enjoyed it. It's a beautiful pool. And it's so nice that they will allow the dogs in groups and allow the people in kind of get their feet wet too. It was really fun to watch them kind of go after the other balls and toys and experiment with the deep end, which is a little scary for them. Our dog loved it. He didn't want to get out.
It was a great experience. We loved it.
He was a little freaked out at first, but we kind of held him up against us and in between us, and after about 5 minutes he calmed down, and then he just started to enjoy it.
For all you dogs out there, come on out.
Clearly, these dogs had a blast, and we can't wait to see them again next year at the next annual Pooch Plunge. For The Splash, this is Ben Goldman.
Thanks, Ben. Hope you're able to stay dry out there as well. And for any dog owners in the area who missed out on this year's fun, be sure to stop by next year and check out our full coverage on civiccentertv.com/poochplunge. We now move on to another of our Splash segments, Sidewalk Talk, where reporter George Moore is talking with people in the greater West Bloomfield area.
George Moore for Civic Center TV and The Splash. We're out on the streets of the greater West Bloomfield area once again, asking questions that evoke interesting answers. Join us. Who's your best friend? How'd you meet?
My best friend, her name is Karina Peterson. She actually just recently moved to Seattle, Washington. And we grew up together. We met when we were like 5.
Long-time BFF.
Long time.
I got too many best friends. I can't just say one. Well, I'll say one of my best friends. I won't name, but we're still good friends, and we met in school, and we were BFFs for a long time.
My best friend is a kid named Charles that I actually don't even talk to much anymore, but it was just the only person I really had who was a friend at school. And the only person I actually stayed connected with, sorta.
God, I don't have a best friend. I used to have a best friend, but she doesn't talk to me anymore, so I don't get
I have a lot of best friends. I can't say that. I'll get in trouble. My husband.
Who's your best friend, and how'd you meet?
Oh, my best friend is my sister. And we met because we were raised together.
My best friend's a guy named Neil Stone. He's got a jewelry store right down the street here. Just south of Maple, called Stone's Jewelry, and we met in kindergarten.
Wow, that far back, huh?
Yeah, we're 64 now.
Well, my best friend is my sister, who you just spoke with, and we live together. We grew up together, so I've known her all my life. I'm about 2 years older than she is.
My oldest best friend has been my friend since 8th grade. I moved to Houston, and it was my first day of class, was on my way into algebra class, and I dropped my books. She helped me pick them up, and we've been best friends ever since.
Can you believe some of the questions we ask? Neither can I, but you answered them as always. So we got some good stuff. So until you see us next time for Civic Center TV and The Splash, I'm George Moore. Sidewalk Talk.
Thank you, George. As usual, a lot of great answers this week. And a shout out to all my best friends watching as well. I have a couple, so I won't mention any names, but I appreciate all of you as well. And if you'd like to see even more Sidewalk Talk, then you can check out civiccentertv.com/Sidewalk Talk. But it's time now, though, for a Civic Center event update. And to stay up to date on all the following current events, you can visit civiccentertv.com/events. So without further ado, let's get started. The West Bloomfield Parks and Recreation Fall Guide is officially available, and if you haven't received yours in the mailbox yet, stop on by the Recreation Activity Center, or you can view it online. You can even take a look at all the activities, events, and programs planned to help make this fall the best one yet. And some activities and programs offer a $5 discount for early reservation. To find out more, call 248-451-1900 for more information. Come join in on West Bloomfield Library's Summer Reading Finale. To celebrate everyone's reading accomplishments, the Bowers Farm Traveling Petting Zoo will be there, along with face and body painting on September 1st from 4 till 6 p.m. Mothers and their children are invited to join West Bloomfield Parks and Rec naturalist Lauren Azuri as she goes on a nature discovery and exercise walk on September 1st at 10:30 a.m. at the Recreation Activity Center. The trail is unpaved, so only all-terrain strollers are recommended. A baby backpack or carrier is also suggested for infants, and this event is free, by the way. Registration, though, is required, so be sure to do so. Why not walk for friendship on September 4th with the community to raise funds and awareness for the Friendship Circle? Registration at the JCC opens at 10:30 a.m. and the opening ceremony follows at 11:30, and the walk officially starts at 11:45. Participants will also enjoy a post-walk celebration with entertainment, activities, and food. Pontiac Meals on Wheels provides homebound and congregate meal services for senior citizens in Pontiac, Keego Harbor, Sylvan Lake, and parts of Orchard Lake. For more information, call 248-738-9393. In memory of Sergeant Patrick O'Rourke, the West Bloomfield Police Department will be holding their annual blood drive on September 8th from 11 till 5 p.m. in room 102 of the West Bloomfield Parks and Recreation Building. Come and make a difference in someone's life by going to redcrossblood.org and entering the sponsor code WBPR, or by simply calling 1-800-733-2767. You can schedule your own appointment. When's the last time you've been to an old-fashioned block party? Well, wait no longer, because Keego Harbor's Skate and Activity Night is just that. Along with a wide variety of games, activities, and inflatables, you can be sure to check out the live entertainment, local vendors, food, and refreshments all throughout the night. Raffles will also be held to raise funds for next year's skate night, and it all happens on September 9th from 4 to 9 p.m. at Rose Sorter Park in Keego Harbor. Get ready for family, football, and fun, because on September 9th, the Family Fun Night starts at 5 p.m. at West Bloomfield High School's north parking lot. The free activities include music, bounce houses, face painting, a photo booth, video games, and much more. Then at 6:30, entry to the football game begins, and at 6:45, there will be a tribute ceremony saluting military, police, and firefighters. Adult football tickets only cost $5, and West Bloomfield Elementary and middle school students wearing school spirit will get in for free, as well as parents attending with military, police, or fire IDs. Celebrate National Grandparents' Day at the library on September 10th. It's a fun-filled day for grandparents, grandkids, and the entire family. From 11 till 2 p.m., there will be activities including face painting, balloon animals, a photo booth, crafts, and the amazing magician Jim Carmody from 11:30 till 12:15. The 64th Annual Dahlia Show is back at Orchard Mall on September 10th, starting at noon and lasting until September 11th. Come and check out the various blooms in the Dahlia family for free, including small button-sized ones to others as large as a dinner plate. Come and learn about the edible or medicinal plants that grow in the wild, and you can visit them at the Orchard Lake Museum, which offers a collection of area artifacts, historic photos, and documents. The museum is free and open on the second Sunday of each month from 1 till 4 p.m. Keego Harbor area bars and restaurants will be at Santia Hall for the annual Taste of Keego Harbor on September 16th, starting at 6 p.m. You can graze upon the many appetizers, main dishes, and desserts. And there will also be a silent auction, which is only $20 per person. Tickets are available at Keego Harbor City Hall and at Gino's Restaurant. The last day to sign up is September 15th, and this is an adults-only event. Well, it's almost time for the Greater West Bloomfield Campout at Marshbank Park, starting on September 6th until the 17th. Families will experience the fun of camping out at Marshbank Park in a tent and participating in the many activities going on throughout the day. Hayrides, archery, kayaking, s'mores, and much more. Plus, dinner and breakfast are included in the registration fee, which is only $11 per resident and $13 per non-resident, ages 2 and up. Come and celebrate the 20th anniversary of the Marvin and Betty Danto Health Care Center. You can enjoy pizza, snow cones, cotton candy, ice cream, a petting zoo, prizes, and much more. The event takes place on September 18th from 1 till 4 p.m., and we hope to see you all there. Why not join in with the Friendship Circle at the Farber Center for a night of fun that includes a Master Chef-style competition, cooking demonstrations, a Q&A session with guest chefs, and a silent auction. Then be sure to save room for dessert, as all this excitement starts at 7 p.m. on September 19th, and tickets are starting at around $75. Finally, Oakland County Animal Control Census Team workers are going door-to-door to verify compliance with Michigan State dog law that requires all dogs to have a valid dog license. Census workers will be driving marked county vehicles and wearing county uniforms with proper identification throughout the township from now until September 22nd. So be sure to have your pet validly licensed. Well, that's all for now, folks, but if you're looking to find even more events going on in your neighborhood, then be sure to follow us at civiccentertv.com/events and look up our events calendar. And as always, stay tuned right here for more information on everything going on in the greater West Bloomfield area. It's time now, though, for a quick break, but afterwards I'll be sitting down with Senate Majority Floor Leader Mike Kowal. Stay tuned.
Don't go away. You're watching The Splash on Civic Center TV.
I'm Kelly Waterfall for Civic Center TV. All around West Bloomfield, people are saying there's great, if not totally compelling programming on Civic Center TV. What's the best way to know when our newest shows debut? Become a member. It's absolutely free. We'll send you a regular newsletter with all the latest updates. Just go to civiccentertv.com and click the Members tab. Civic Center TV, television that's close to home.
Be sure to catch live coverage of Laker sports, up-to-date information on local events, and of course, non-stop music on 89.3 WBLD, the all-new Lakes FM.
For years, Civic Center TV has been bringing you live coverage of local municipal meetings. The meetings are now available on demand at civiccentertv.com/meetings, or watch the meetings again the following day on Civic Center TV, television that's close to home.
And now, back to The Splash on Civic Center TV.
Hello and welcome back to my interview with Senator Mike Kowal from White Lake. Now, Senator, let's talk a little bit about some more legislation. Yeah, another thing you're trying to pass is an anti-hacking law for automobiles. You know, today's automobiles have a lot of technology in them, almost as much as our computers or our phones, you know, and that's makes them, you know, almost easily accessible, you know, with hacking. So what inspired you to take on this challenge?
Well, what got me interested is we're working on the autonomous vehicle legislation right now, and that's the wave of the future for the automotive industry in our area. And there was a report that came out that talked about the Jeep Grand Cherokees being hacked into, and being that I drive one, that got my attention immediately.
Yeah, hopefully it did, yes.
And we started researching it and found out that your Ford Taurus has more computers in it right now than some of the 747 equipment of airplanes that are flying.
Unbelievable.
It's unbelievable the amount of the gigabytes that are in these cars. And as we go forward, that we start clicking into full autonomous mode, the last thing you want somebody doing is hacking into your vehicle while you're doing 70 miles an hour down I-75.
Exactly.
Because once you begin to trust the systems, you're going to really rely on them to be correct. I was just in a test with the U.S. military and MDOT. In fact, Lieutenant Governor and I rode in the lead truck. The governor was behind us in another very heavy military vehicle. These are large semi-trucks. We did our first platooning experiment on the roads, and that one of the things that my legislation I did back in 13 made possible, that we could experiment on the highways. And it came off flawlessly. But it's an incorporated system with connected streets, of which I'm happy to say Oakland County and our road commission is head and shoulders above everybody else, not only here in Michigan, but in the country.
They are doing a wonderful job.
They are doing an outstanding job. But we're working in conjunction with all that so that accidents like what Brooks Patterson got into never would have happened. So as these vehicles are all talking to one another and to the infrastructure and making sure that we're moving along safely, the last thing we need is somebody, you know, disrupting that frequency.
But you are concerned about safety. That's one of your, you know, biggest platforms as Senator. Protection of safety, not only for our officers, in our vehicles, but you're also involved in a lot with veterans too, and making sure they're taken care of and protected. And just even this weekend, right? You had an event, a lapel pinning ceremony.
Last weekend, we were up in Oscoda, and they had actually had helicopters there from the Vietnam era, and they were flying people around in them.
It must have brought back some memories.
A lot of the veterans. It brought back a lot of emotions and memories.
Of course.
We put pins on almost 200 people.
Oh, wow.
We had the partners were in from Washington, D.C., a couple of staff sergeants and some officials were there with us. And my staff person, Lynn, was there as well and helping out, making sure everything was running smoothly. But we did see a lot of tears and a lot of hugs.
Yeah.
And it's a very emotional experience, and those of us that are old enough that remember the Vietnam War know that it wasn't the most popular thing in the world.
No.
And when the veterans came home, they weren't thanked. They were called baby killers, and they were, you know, not treated very well. So we're trying to make up with that, although it's 50 years later.
True. Well, Senator, too, while I have you here, I wanted to ask a little bit about, more about you. What do you love most about being in the Senate? I mean, I know your wife is actually involved in legislation, so your family is very heavily involved. And
well, as I was telling you earlier, I spent 38 years in the construction business with my family, and then I got involved in helping out Brooks Patterson, and one thing led to another, and
soon enough,
before long, I was running for state house, and to my surprise, I won. And I got into Lansing, and I remember looking at the ceiling, thinking, okay, now what do you do? And you really have to pay attention to what your colleagues are doing, and there has to be a lot of trust amongst the legislators, because trying to gather all the information there is like drinking water out of a fire hose. There's just a lot coming at you.
Too much, yeah.
So before long, my wife got interested, and she ran for the county commission and won that. And I was in the state house for a while, and then I left there, and I worked in Mexico and China, and had some interesting experiences. And
you were telling me earlier too, you and your wife were I believe the only two, the first ever couple who was
correct.
Yeah,
we're the first couple to be elected and hold office at the same time. And married, and we're still married.
Yeah, which is good as well.
Which is
good as well, yes.
42 years now, so
that's awesome.
Yeah, it's a beautiful thing.
Well, we appreciate you, and we thank you for all the work that you're doing, as well as with your family, too. Everybody's involved in politics, but you are exactly, one person who's done a lot of work for veterans, like I said, and a lot of work for people here in our district. So thank you so much, Senator.
You're more than welcome. Happy to do it.
Yeah. All right. Well, once again, folks, Senator Mike Kowal, we want to thank him again for joining us today and continue to support him and, of course, all the work that he does in our Senate. Thanks again, Senator.
You're more than welcome.
Don't go away. You're watching The Splash on Civic Center TV.
I'm Stacy Pacini, caseworker for West Bloomfield Youth Assistance. West Bloomfield Youth Assistance provides confidential casework services to children and families living in the West Bloomfield School District. If your family or child is struggling, West Bloomfield Youth Assistance can help. For more information about West Bloomfield Youth Assistance programs and services, please visit www.wbyouth.assistance.org or call 248-592-1278.
In the air, in the park, in your town, Civic Center TV keeps you up to date on everything going on in West Bloomfield. Go for a hike, meet the neighbors, take a splash, and explore all that our area has to offer. Civic Center TV, television that's close to home.
And now, back to The Splash on Civic Center TV.
Welcome back to The Splash, everyone. I'm Jonathan Jackson. It's time now for a segment we like to call The Biz, where reporter Katie Wozniak gets an inside look at local businesses within greater West Bloomfield.
Did you know that the color of a room can make you feel various emotions? In this edition of The Biz, we visited Sherwin-Williams in West Bloomfield to learn how a particular color can affect one's mood.
Color, it's something that you see every day and that you gravitate towards certain colors in certain areas of the home more so than others. So when you see something that you really enjoy, you have much more cheerful feelings, and it's a better work environment when you're in the home versus if you see something that's too dark or it's just a color that your eye doesn't gravitate towards. It can kind of weigh on you and ultimately affect how you feel when you're in your home. And you want to feel good when you're in there, so you want to surround yourself with colors that you love.
And a lighter color is going to have a different effect on you than a darker color.
So lighter colors can affect a space in the way that they make them feel a little bit more airy and open, a little bit more task-oriented, so you don't feel you're not in a closed-in environment. They're a little bit more conducive to working, whereas those darker colors are really warm and cozy. So a lot of times they're good for more like intimate spaces, so whether it's a dining room or even sometimes a powder room, because those are your more formal spaces in the home, and it's really nice to incorporate a darker color there.
Not seeing eye to eye on a color with your loved one? Don't worry, not everyone perceives color the same.
So the color of the room does have an effect on you, especially with age. As you get older, your retina's yellow, so you actually see colors differently and you perceive them differently, as with the gender. So men typically see colors a little bit more different than women do, but they're also drawn towards different colors as well.
When referring to colors, Amanda describes them as active, passive, or neutral.
Active colors are otherwise known as warm colors, so those are reds, yellows, and oranges. And passive colors are cool colors, so those are typically blues and greens. And then neutral colors are your whites, blacks, beiges, grays, browns, anything of that nature. So active or warm colors typically create more of an exciting, warm, cozy type feeling, where passive or cooler colors are typically, they're very serene, very relaxing, kind of spa-esque.
Active colors like orange and yellow, while they can be cheerful and energizing and great for a home gym, are not good in bright shades for rooms like a nursery. Passive color green is a great fit for any room, similar to blue.
So blues are very, very relaxing. They're also said to be a trustworthy color. So it's a good color to use even like in an office space where you're promoting business, whether it be from the home or, your personal office as well.
And remember, the color of the walls reflect your mood.
The walls are the largest space in your house, so you really want to kind of determine what colors you enjoy and what colors you want to see on a daily basis, because you do see them at all angles. So really determining if you want a cool color so that the room feels open and airy, or if you want a warm color so that the room feels warm and cozy, and really that's going to determine how you feel in the space.
For Civic Center TV, I'm Katie Wozniak.
Thanks, Katie. And if you'd like to see even more colorful episodes of The Biz, just like this one, then you can visit civiccentertv.com/thebiz. Now it's time to turn to our other segment here on the show, our Person of the Week, where we acknowledge an individual within the community who is either helping or inspiring others. And this week's recipient is Coach Darrell Granberry from West Bloomfield High School. Darrell Granberry is West Bloomfield's newest field hockey varsity coach, but he's quite a familiar face around campus, as he has also coached football and lacrosse at West Bloomfield for over 10 years. Now, as he undertakes his newest challenge, Darrell says he has fallen in love with field hockey, as the raw emotion and aggressiveness of the sport is quite familiar to him. When the opportunity presented itself, Darrell was actually recommended for the position by his lacrosse players, who encouraged him to apply for the job and eventually led to his approval from the athletic director. And as an alumnus of West Bloomfield High School, coaching here is very special to him because of the memories of playing on these same fields that his students are on right now. Another of Darrell's favorite things about Greater West Bloomfield are the eateries, especially Gino's Pizzeria in Keego Harbor, which is one of his favorite restaurants, and ours too. With a new team and a new year on the horizon, Darrell is looking forward to learning and growing with his players, which is why we decided to make him our Person of the Week. And if you or someone you know is providing a service to their community, then let us know by sending an email to thesplash@civiccentertv.com. We want to congratulate those who are making a difference in our area, and we appreciate any and all suggestions. Unfortunately, though, that is all the time we have for today. But as always, you can catch new episodes of The Splash every Monday at 6:30 and throughout the week for replays. And you can also look up previous episodes online at civiccentertv.com or follow us on Twitter, YouTube, and Facebook under Civic Center TV for more information. For all our friends in Sylvan Lake, Orchard Lake, Keego Harbor, and of course, West Bloomfield, I'm Jonathan Jackson, and we want to thank you for watching.